Hello, my dear friends, and welcome back to another cozy story time. Tonight's tale is a gentle one, meant for listeners of every age, children, teens, and adults alike. So, find a comfortable spot, perhaps with a blanket or a warm drink, and let's step into a story full of quiet peace and heart. Our story begins in a little cottage at the edge of a small town. The cottage was simple but beautiful, with pale stone walls, a red roof, and ivy climbing lazily up the sides. In the garden, roses and lavender grew happily together, filling the air with sweetness. And inside that cottage lived a woman named Clara. Clara had a quiet, gentle way about her. She wasn't one for crowds or busy places, but she had a gift for words. Every evening, when the world outside turned golden with the setting sun, she would sit at her small wooden desk by the window and write letters. Some letters she sent to her family, others to old friends, and a few she tucked away in a small wooden box, as if saving them for someone who had not yet arrived. Her letters weren't just words on paper, they were pieces of her heart. She wrote about the garden, the way the sky looked after the rain, the sound of birds in the morning. She wrote about kindness, about hope, and about all the little joys that made life feel warm. And as we step into Clara's story together, perhaps we will discover why her letters carried such magic. One summer morning, the cottage awoke with light spilling gently through the curtains. Clara carried her basket of letters to the porch, where she liked to sit with her tea. She tied the stack with a soft ribbon and smiled at the thought of where each one would go. Some letters would travel far, tucked into envelopes and carried by the postman down winding country roads. Others would rest quietly in her wooden box, never sent, but still written with care. These were the ones that seemed most mysterious letters to no one in particular, but full of love and kindness, as if Clara was writing to the world itself. One afternoon, a neighbor boy named Henry stopped by the garden gate. He often helped her carry things from the market, and Clara always greeted him with a smile. That day, she handed him a folded letter. "It isn't addressed," she told him gently, "but maybe you'll know who should read it." Henry took it, a little puzzled, but when he read it later, he felt his heart lift. The letter spoke of courage and of finding beauty in small things like the sound of rain on a roof or the way stars appeared slowly at night. It felt as if Clara had written it just for him, though she had never known he needed those words. And that was the quiet magic of Clara's letters. They had a way of reaching hearts exactly when they were needed most. As the seasons passed, Clara's letters found their way through the town. Some were tucked into books at the library, waiting to surprise a curious reader. Some were left at doorsteps, bringing warmth to lonely hearts. And some, like the ones Henry carried, were passed from hand to hand until they had touched more people than Clara ever imagined. Though she never asked for thanks, little notes of gratitude sometimes found their way back to her: pressed flowers, tiny sketches, or short messages that said, simply, "Thank you." Clara kept them all in her box, alongside her own unsent letters. One autumn evening, as the leaves turned gold outside her window, Clara sat by her desk once again. She smiled softly, dipping her pen into ink, and whispered, "There's always someone who needs a kind word." And so, she kept writing. And perhaps that's the message for us too, my dear friends, that even small words, offered with care, can bring light into someone's day. Thank you for sharing this gentle story time with me. If Clara's letters warmed your heart, don't forget to like, subscribe, and join me again for more cozy, comforting tales. Until then, may your days be filled with kindness, and may you always find little notes of love along the way.